Hi guys, this is Ranjit and welcome to the third Q&A session that we are doing here in 2022, and I'll be answering a bunch of questions, and in fact I've taken quite a few more questions, so this Q&A can be a little bit bigger, so bring your coffee or whatever. And I've taken a variety of questions from PC chips to EVs to cars, of course, smartphones and stuff. So variety of questions. So let's start this. And the first question that I get is from Mr. Singh. He's asking, what are your thoughts about Intel 12th generation processor? Should I buy the 11th generation or wait for the 12th generation laptops? Also, how would you rate the Jabra Elite 2 against the likes of Realme or other brands? Okay, regarding the Jabra Elite 2, I haven't tested it, so can't comment on it. But regarding my thoughts on the Intel 12th generation processors, I would say wait for it. For example, if you recall, this is the new Samsung laptop that I'm testing. This came with the 12th generation processor, and in fact I had also tested one more Asus laptop earlier last month that was with the 12th generation, and the performance of this 12th generation process is leaps and bounds better than the 11th and the 12th generation. It's massive. The 10th and 11th generation, the AMDs were dominating, but now with this 12th generation, it's actually really good. But the thing is that what I'm noticing is that most of the laptops that are coming with this new 12th generation are significantly expensive. But if you are okay with that, and it has a lot more power, I would say. So if you're sort of a power user, or if you do video editing, heavy stuff, then the 12th generation will be a lot better. It's like a mobile, a CPU now. They have powerful cores, power efficient cores. Earlier it was just normal. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is by Mr. Gogi Bhaskar. What is the best video for shooting and vlogging, DJI Pocket 2 or the iPhone 13 Pro? Personally, I would say, if you notice, I have one more channel, GeekyRanjit Rides and Vlogs, my personal kind of a channel. And there, I'm actually using the iPhone 13 Pro for most of the shooting. In fact, I would say the rear-facing camera, the video that comes with the rear-facing camera from the iPhone is very good. You have the wide mode, you have 3 focal lengths. So I prefer that, I would say. So I would go with the iPhone 13 Pro over the DJI Pocket 2 because phone is always there in the pocket, and the video quality is just amazing on this. In fact, that way I would say the new Samsung S22 series video quality is also actually pretty good. In fact, the last video I posted on my GeekyRanjit Vlogs channel was actually shot with the S22 Plus. This is by Yugant. He's asking, is it worth buying the Sony XM3 earpods? And you means the in-ear WF XM3s. I'm getting it for 9,000 on Amazon. If not, suggest me some good earpods under 10,000. If you're getting it for 9,000, just blindly go and buy it. It's amazing sounding for 9,000 bucks. The only con, if you watch my review of the XM3s, just search my channel, is that the microphone quality is not that great. But in terms of listening to music, still the XM3s are amazing. I personally am using the XM4s right now, which have far better microphone. But for just music listening, XM3 for 9,000, it's amazing, man. As I know quite a few earphones in that price range just don't even come close to it. Apart from the microphone quality, as I've told you. This is by Srikar. He's saying, I was planning to buy a two-wheeler EV due to the soaring petrol prices, but due to the recent battery issues and fire accidents, I'm holding on. What's your take on this? Yes, Rika, we have seen a lot of two-wheeler EVs specifically catching a fire. It's almost with all the brands, Ola, some newcomers, etc. And every third or fourth day we are seeing this. And I think that this is because of the batteries that they are using. These batteries are just imported from China and India. If you know, right now in summer, the ambient temperatures are too high. It's not like that in China. So I think so these manufacturers need to pay a lot more attention on the batteries, how they sustain in our harsh environment. So I am also a little bit skeptical about it because it's not just one-off case. We have seen quite a few cases now with EVs, specifically the two-wheelers. And it's mostly, if you notice in India, it's happening with the two-wheelers, not with the four-wheelers. Tatas have a lot of Nexon and even MG. Those haven't got far. But in two-wheelers, I think so it's the quality control and the battery. So I would just hold on and wait till the quality control issues and all those things are like calibrated, then only I will look at it, because it's just too many cases, not just one-off in the two-wheeler range, and it's with across the vendors, not just one specific vendor. This is by Saha. He says, many times I've asked you this question, but you never picked my question. What's the ideal mid-range smartphone under rupees 25,000, having good camera, AMOLED panel, and decent performance for moderate usage? Saha, as of now, I would say under 25,000, you can look at the Realme 9 Pro Plus. That came with the Dimensity 920 SoC. The rear-facing camera on that one is actually really good. It has OIS. In fact, it beats a lot of smartphones that are even priced at about 35,000 in terms of rear-facing. I was impressed with the rear-facing camera performance of this one. Comes with an AMOLED screen, also has stereo speakers, and I think so now you can get it for about 23,000. Yes, you have some Realme bloatware and stuff, but you have that budget. Overall, I would say, as of now, that would be my pick, especially as I've told, camera is a very important part. In that segment, the camera is really good on that one. This is by Satish. He's asking, at 50,000, which one is good, S21 Fe or Pixel 6? I would have gone with the Pixel 6 if it was officially available in India. You guys are buying from Amazon. It's not officially sold in India. It's just some resellers that are selling in India. So if you buy the Pixel 6 and if you have problems, you will be in a soup. There is no support from Google India for Pixel 6, or it can be repaired. So that is the risk. If you are willing to take that risk, go with the Pixel 6. But again, these days, many of the smartphones are having a lot of issues. And in fact, Pixel 6 and the 6 XL or whatever they call it, Pro, are having a lot of software issues this time, if you notice. So I would stay safe and go with the S21 Fe because I'm getting official warranty and stuff. That's not the case. But if you don't care about the warranty, you're willing to take that risk, you can go with the Pixel 6. This is by Aman. He's saying, as you're reviewing devices from a long time, I think you're getting bored of similar smartphones stuff. Nowadays, which tech creates curiosity in you and you think that new innovation or out-of-the-box product? Yes, smartphones are getting pretty boring because manufacturers are launching one smartphone after another, and you see not a big change. It's just moving the camera here and there, changing the back a little bit and calling it a new model. So if you notice, past 2.5 years, yes, there have been marginal improvements in the camera performance, but apart from that, nothing much. In fact, the new processors are heating up a lot more compared to the earlier on. So that way also we haven't improved a lot. So yeah, it's sort of boring, but I feel in some of the other areas I'm finding improvements, especially now I'm impressed with the laptops now with the Intel 12th generation and the new AMD 6000 series of chips that will come with the latest laptop. The market is heating up quite a bit. So I'm a little bit interested in reviewing new laptops and stuff. Audio gear, some high-end audio gear I'm testing. So yes, smartphones a little bit boring, but I'm trying to, if you notice my channel, I'm not covering almost every smartphone that is launching, only selected smartphones. So that will continue. Only if a product is cutting edge or adding a lot of value or something, I'm going to cover on my channel, not just me to launching products that is launching every week. This is by Shivam. He says, don't you think nowadays the 15 to 25,000 range lacks performance-centric phones like we used to have back in the day, Poco F1, Realme X3, Snapdragon 845, etc. Now it's just mid-range or you pay a lot. Yes, Shivam, if you are expecting that value flagship series that we were seeing earlier, that's simply gone now. Earlier in that 25,000 range, you could get the Snapdragon 845 and stuff like that. But now that category is simply gone. In fact, even good mid-range smartphones that earlier we used to get about 14 or 15,000, you have to almost spend more than 20,000 now. And this value flagship is suddenly gone. What we were getting around 25 now has shifted to about 35 to 40,000. And you know the cost of the flagships, they're going above 60,000 now. So yeah, the pricing has completely changed. It's a sad move, but that's the reality. This is by Chandan. I have heard in your videos that most of the so-called smart watches are just fitness bands. Can you explain the difference between a smart band and a smartwatch? Yes, most of the budget-oriented smart watches, if you notice, are nothing but a glorified smart band. So they do basic health tracking and all those things. And notifications that you get from the phone, you can just watch it and listen to it. And some of them have a phone functionality that you can take calls. But apart from that, not that much. What I say is a true smartwatch is you don't have to pick up your phone every time when you want to interact, and that is possible only in a proper smartwatch. For example, a proper smartwatch I would call as Apple Watch and even the Samsung Galaxy or Android Wear watches. There, let's say you get a notification, let's say you get a WhatsApp message, and you see the message. Of course you can see the message, but you can actually reply to the message via voice and something like that. So it has voice recognition and stuff. You don't have to go every time to your smartphone to do that interaction. That is simply not possible in many of the what you call smart band kind of smartwatches. In fact, this what I'm wearing is the Garmin Epix 2. This is a very premium fitness watch. I call it a fitness watch, not a proper smartwatch. This is 99,000, but this one also does not have that voice functionality. Like, I get a message, I can read it, but I can't reply to it with voice and stuff. So that is the distinction, I would say. If you want a true smartwatch, then the choices that you have is Apple Watch. It works fabulously. You can do a lot of stuff without going back to your phone. Your phone can be in the pocket, and that's the same case even with the Galaxy Watch and some of the Android Wear watches. So that's the big difference. This is by Dave. As chargers are being removed and Apple and Samsung proprietary chargers are expensive, can we buy chargers from reputable third-party chargers like brands like Anker, etc.? They are not super cheap, but still cheaper than others. Yes, you can actually certainly do that. Anker is pretty reputable. In fact, not now. I've been actually using a third-party charger. It's not Anker, but again, a pretty popular company. I had got that from US. It was 8-port charger, and I still use it. And it works. So yes, if you are buying a third-party chargers, buy it from reputable brands. And if it's a quick charging, check if it has Qualcomm certified or what. So if that's the case, you can use it. I use a lot of third-party chargers and they work, but I'm using good quality ones. Don't go with the cheaper ones. But the problem with some of those third-party chargers is that if you're using some new fancy phones, like generally BBK Group, that is Oppo, Vivo, and Realme, etc., they use their own proprietary fast charging technology. That's 65 watt, 80 watt or something. Those will not charge as fast with these regular chargers. The regular chargers are generally power delivery or Qualcomm quick charge certified, but not those fancy something proprietary VOOC charging or something like that. Gadget Freak is asking, when is the S22 Plus review coming? Yes, it will be coming soon, hopefully by next month. Actually, last month I was not that well. In fact, my wife got COVID. I also indirectly got COVID, didn't realize it. And for 15 days I was not feeling well, so didn't go out that much and stuff. So I was mostly using this phone only in the house and stuff like that. But luckily, I'm just leaving for a small vacation in a day or two. And I just wanted to use this phone out in the wild. When you go to vacation, you hardly charge it. You just charge in the morning and roam around and stuff. So let's see if next 3-4 days, how does it fare in the hot sun. By last month, I was not noticing any heating issues, but now as the ambient temperatures have increased quite a bit, I notice that this phone gets warm pretty quickly. So let's wait. I want to give a holistic review of this one because now it has also got quite a few, updates, and the performance definitely has changed a little bit when I unboxed it and now how it is. So hopefully in May, when I'll be back with my vacation, I'll try to post the experience review, long-term experience review of using the S22 Plus. In fact, I would say, if camera is not the camera is fabulous on this one. That's the big takeaway, I would say. But if camera is not your highest priority, then I would say you can go with the Moto Edge 30 Pro, I would say, frankly say, because that is slightly more practical than this one. But the camera on this one, if camera is a priority to you, then definitely the camera is the highlight of the smartphone, I would say. This is by Nirbhay. He's asking, we have always seen you vocal about buggy updates, 2 megapixel cameras, ads and bloatware in UI, price hikes, etc. in the smartphone. Is there any silver lining in the cloud that you can think, or you have lost hope from this industry? Nirbhay, I have actually lost hope in this industry. I'm saddened by it. I'm sort of given up. This is not going to change. And this buggy update, this becomes so bad. And you know, with OT updates, these manufacturers are ruining the hardware. Users are getting hardware issues after OT updates. That is the sad situation that Android is right now. And in fact, I'm working on a video. This is going to be a very, very serious video that I will start recommending users to go with an iPhone after a certain budget, because the situation of Android phones has become so bad now. Wait for that video. Hopefully I'll post it in May. And that is coming from a person who loves Android phone, has almost all the Android phone, foldables and stuff like that. But if I look at a holistic approach, the current crop of Android phones, even if you go with the flagships, are not long lasting at all. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Namit. as a petrol head, considering an EV, but there is a hesitation somewhere inside, like not getting the true automobile experience while driving an EV. I know that the benefits are immense, but how drastic will be the change in the experience? Your perspective. Now, a very interesting question. I might also offer a EV. As you guys don't know, if you follow my other channel, you might know. I actually own two cars. One is a BMW, and the other is a Tata. What do you say? Tiago. That is our daily car that roams around a lot. And now that Tiago is almost 4.5 years old or something, and I might upgrade to a EV. Tata Nexon or something like that eventually, maybe in next 6 or 8 months. But I'm a, what do you say, automotive enthusiast. I have bikes also and stuff like that, and yes, I feel with the EV the pickup will be very good, and when you start pulling it, it'll pull continuously and continuously because the torque is very good. But again, if you are that petrol head or something, and if you have driven some good cars, that rush of the turbo spooling and the pickup that you get, I think so that you might miss a little bit because engine noise won't be there, that torque will be there. Don't get me wrong, the pull and the torque will be there on EVs. In fact, it's a lot better. So what I plan to do is I will keep my BMW because that gives me fun when driving, and it's my personal fun car, I would say. But I might eventually move to EV for the second car that is daily that we use, the Tata what is that, Tiago, that we use every day, might replace that with the EV. So that's my perspective about EVs. This is by Abel. When we talk about clean Android experience, Motorola phones comes to our mind. How good of an alternative is it when competition is giving much better Android and security updates? Also, aftermarket service better than Motorola. I think so, Abel, as you're talking about Android updates and security updates, I think so you're referring to Samsung, because Samsung is the only one in the Android ecosystem is now giving 2 years, 3 years, for flagships actually 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security updates. So yes, Motorola is not as good obviously as Android. But now if you look at Motorola, they are improving quite a bit. They were very lackluster in the terms of Android updates. In fact, they were just promising one Android update and such stuff like that. Now slowly they have started promising in some of their smartphones 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. So yeah, if you compare it with Samsung, yes, Samsung is the best as of now in the Android OEM ecosystem. But again, notice Samsung, I think so the quality control of the OTA updates, it's not good, because I've seen some of the Samsung smartphones having problems, hardware problems after OTA update. If you Google around it, you'll notice that. So I don't want too many OTA updates on stuff like that, but I want quality OTA updates that don't brick a device or makes the device unusable. What is the use of having 4 years of security updates if the quality control is not good? But after second 2 or 3 years of update, those updates start giving problems. That is something that we need to think. And these smartphone vendors also launching one phone after the other, not concentrating too much on the updates. Updates are crippling Android devices. That's a bloody fact right now. This is by Monjit. He's saying, hey Ranjit, any clue on nothing phone? Currently I'm using the OnePlus 7 and wanted to change my phone. Can you please suggest a good phone within 40,000, 50 and 60,000? Is the iPhone 13 better than S22? I was planning, okay, too many questions. Okay, regarding the first question, iPhone 13 better than S22? I would say yes. If I were you, I would go with the iPhone 13. The S22 goes ahead in one area. That is, the front-facing camera is just far better than the iPhone 13's front-facing camera. Even the front-facing camera of the iPhone 13 Pro is not that great. So I would say, if you don't change your phones that much, you are a person who likes to keep his smartphone for more than 3-4 years, then definitely the iPhone 13 will fare a lot better than the S22. Also, in terms of battery life, the iPhone 13 gives far better battery life compared to the Galaxy S22. That's a simple fact. But yeah, the front-facing camera is better on the S22. Rear-facing, both are good. I would give a slight edge to the S22 because it has a triple camera setup, whereas the iPhone 13 has a dual camera setup. But again, depends. If you are a person who likes to keep your phone more than 3 or 4 years, then the iPhone 13 will surely age better compared to the S22, and the battery life is better on the iPhone 13. just my 2 cents. Regarding the Nothing phone, we don't know anything. It's just promises and hype. And I hope they keep the hype down, because we know that company, Nothing likes to hype up stuff too much. And what generally happens is that when you hype the stuff too much, your expectations become like this. But when you get the product, reality, it is like this, and it's very, very disappointing. So let's see. Nothing yet about Nothing phone. Let's see if we get, and I'm going to be very neutral about it when I get. I don't want to go in the hype bandwagon. What they did not do. Would see. So I'm a little bit skeptical about it, because it's going to be a new company. Software they have to optimize. Yes, they know how to do it, but again, it's an entire new team that they're building and all the same. So too many variables. Let's see when the product comes out. Okay, this is by Rahul. Do you really wait for the specific smartphone to launch these days, and for how much time one should use a flagship smartphone before buying a new one? Regarding how much time you should use a flagship before buying one, that I would say, if your current phone is working well and fine and you don't feel that it's not performing something adequately, then continue using it. I know in our own family people who are having iPhones that are almost 5 years old and they're still using it and they're happy with it. So why would I tell them to change it? So if it is functioning pretty well, doing a daily task and something like that, then no need to upgrade. If it's an iPhone, yes, it might last for 4 or 5 years, easily 6 years also. I know some people who have iPhones that are lasting about 6 years. So it's up to you. Generally with Android flagships, after 2.5, 3 years, I would say these days with OTA updates, it's sort of crippling. But again, if a smartphone is working properly, and one tip I would give to Android users, if your smartphone is getting a little bit older, let's say more than 1.5 to 2 years old, specifically with Android smartphone, be very, very careful with OTA updates, because many of the OTA updates are degrading the performance of the smartphone, like camera performance, battery life, heating issues, and stuff like that. That's a real fact. This is by Nitesh. Request you to do a video on the basic general stuff for those who are moving from Windows to Mac. I know there are hundreds of such videos on YouTube, but something from you, knowing how Indians use stuff and most. Nitesh, a good suggestion. Let me give it a try. In fact, I'm actually trying to do the opposite. I have Mac. I've been a Mac user for the last 10 years. I migrated from Windows because of Windows Vista's issues. But now I've realized that Windows laptops and Windows computers have become so good. So I'm trying to do the reverse migration from Mac to Windows right now, because what I've noticed is that Mac is great for me, but let's say I want to build a team and then I have to give 4 or 5 computers. Mac computers, if I want to give it to a team of let's say 5-6 people, the expense goes very high. That way still, a Windows laptop, you can get a pretty decent Windows laptop for about 50,000. That's not the case with the Mac. In fact, I was planning to buy the Mac Studio. That's for about 1,80,000 or something like that. Then I just thought to myself, the only software that I use too much on the Mac is Final Cut Pro, and because of that I have to buy expensive hardware. Right now I'm using the iMac Pro. That was 4.5 lakhs. So I'm not actually playing with a lot of video editing softwares on the Windows. I am still not totally convinced. I'm in the middle of the migration. But yeah, interesting suggestion. I'll give it a try and see what I can do about it. This is by Karthik. Can we see more foldable phones from other manufacturers in India? Are foldable phones solving any practical problems, or are they a fashion statement at this point? If you're thinking local manufacturers from India getting into foldables, that will not happen right now. But yeah, we are seeing foldables from other vendors like Oppo, Vivo is going to launch, and others. Yes, but again, those will be like significantly higher. The foldables will be in the premium flagship kind of a category. And I would say as of now, they're still a very niche kind of a product. And personally, I'm going on a vacation and I have the Fold 3, but I'm not going to carry the Fold 3. I'm just going to carry this one and my iPhone, the S22 Plus and the iPhone, because this is simply more practical and more durable. Fold still, I would say the durability of the folds are not as good as these regular smartphones. Rutu is he's asking, unlike Android flagships, why doesn't the cost of previous year iPhone Pros decrease every year. 11 Pro, a great phone and much better than the 11 that Apple sells till date. Still cost a lot. Ritu, the problem with the Pro series of iPhones in India is that the Pro series of iPhones are not made in India. These are directly imported. So they have actually a very significant high tax. That's why you see the Pro series of iPhones in India are significantly expensive. But again, if you go with the regular versions like the iPhone 11, 12, now even the iPhone 13 is going to be made in India. That's why those are priced significantly less. But Pro, it's still been imported. That's why they cost a lot in India. In fact, very expensive in India. This is Vijay. How is your biking adventures going on? What are your thoughts on the EV vehicle market and recent news of many EV vehicles battery malfunctioning? Do you think industry is in a hurry to bring the product? I've answered this question. Yes, my biking adventures are going fine, but now Hyderabad has become very, very hot. So I'm not riding that much these days, and last month I was not that well. But yeah, I'm still enjoying riding the Trident sometimes. I have to go and ride very, very early in the morning because even at about 7:30 in the morning, it's become actually pretty hot in Hyderabad. Regarding EV batteries, yes, the two-wheelers actually need to assess the quality of batteries that they are importing from China and other countries, and they should actually look at safety concerns because it is a issue, and let's see what happens. I think the government will also put some regulations on this one pretty soon. Naman Agarwal, he's asking, flashing GSI custom ROMs give new life to your devices, especially Pixel ROMs. What are your thoughts on it? Definitely, I would say if you have a slightly older flagship or something like that, 2-3 years old, you can just flash custom ROMs and it will give a new life. Your hardware, even if you take it the Snapdragon 845 or 855, they're still very, very powerful chipsets. But the problem with is that with the old stupid OT8 buggy OT updates that OEMs are releasing, they are slowing down the phones. But if you're tech savvy, you know what you're doing. You can definitely install custom ROMs and your phone will perform like magic. It'll be so fast. This is by Kaushik. He's asking, Truecaller in iPhone does not work like Android. Any possibility of betterment of user experience of that synchronization? Battery backup, iPhone versus Pixel, who will win? I would say the iPhones, the new 13 one, have actually very good battery life, the 13 and the 13 Pro. So I would bet the iPhone 13 series will perform better than the Pixel. Yes, Truecaller simply does not work that well on the iPhone. That is one of my niggling issues of making the iPhone as my primary smartphone, because I need Truecaller and Truecaller simply does not work. So that is the reason my main SIM is on an Android smartphone and my secondary SIM is in the iPhone. Hope that helps. Okay, this is the last question. Let's take this. This is from Lata. Is there any possibilities to see new OS, not like Android or iOS? You're talking about mobile operating system, and to be very frank, Lata, it's going to be very, very difficult for a new mobile operating system to come and dominate. It's currently divided into two, iOS and Android. If you recall, Microsoft, it's such a big company, tried that with Windows Phone and they failed. In fact, Samsung also about a couple of years ago tried with Tizen and they gave up the project. So I don't see a new mobile operating system happening soon. Firefox tried it, we had other ports, but none of them actually succeeded. And the problem is that for a mobile operating system to succeed, the developers, that is app makers, need to start making apps with that. If they don't do it, it will fail. That was the problem with Windows Phone. It was a very good operating system, but most of the popular developers simply did not write apps for that. And when a person buys a particular operating system, it's not just the operating system he's buying. He's buying because he wants to use all those apps. But let's say those apps are not there on that operating system, or they don't function well, then people will not buy it. So it's very difficult for a new mobile operating system to come. So anyways, guys, that's it for now for this tech Q&A session. I know it was a little bit big, but do let me know what do you feel about the same. And if you guys are still not subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.